First priest, present thy registry. Kananya ban Yahawada ban Yashala.
Kananya ban Yahawada ban Yashala.
Yahawasim Yasha Brakatham.
Yahawasim Yasha Brakatham.
Yahawasim Yasha Brakatham. Yahawasim Yasha Brakatham.
Yahawasim Yasha Brakatham. La Yasha. La Yashala. Next on this half of words. Men of Israel and Madu, stand. Upon Yaakov Dome, turn to face the east. You see the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. You find it in Matthew, chapter 6, verses 9 through 13. Abanaw, Shabbat
Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shaka, Yahweh,
Alakwaka,
Yahweh,
Taba'ah,
Ratazaka,
Hayah,
Aisha,
Ba'aratazah,
Kawa,
Hayah,
Bashemayim,
Latundanaw, Lakam, Ko,
Yawam,
Wasalaklanau, Kabawathnaw, Kasalaknaw, Kabawathnaw, Wala'ah, Tabianaw, Banasawan, Abo, Hawashanaw, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahatha Pa'ara, La'awalami, Aman. In English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. The power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. Pray for the blessings in Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh wa Yahweh Shai.
Barakatah Yahweh Yahweh Shai.
Wa Mayak Allah.
Wa Dr. Allah.
Wa Alahayim. Matazib Ya'ah.
Wataz Ya'ah.
Alawap Yahana.
Yawat Yahana.
Ha'alawapim. Hasaranyam. Hakwatazayanyam.
Atazayam.
Hakaya Yalyam.
Hakayam.
Wahakwatyam.
Wahakwatyam.
Yahweh Shim Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shim Yahweh Shai.
The water amen.
The water amen.
In English.
Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shai.
And the Yahweh.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yohana.
Commanding General Yohana.
The generals.
The general.
The captain.
The captain.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it.
Pray to bless Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Barak Lanaw.
Barak Lanaw.
Wayashal.
Wayashal.
Wahabayah.
Malaya.
Saparium.
Saparium.
Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Tawad Aman.
Tawad Aman.
Prayer for the Hakah. Power in Hebrew. Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Babu Kashah.
Babu Shah.
Nathan Lanaw.
Lanaw.
Hakah.
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 La Rapa'ah.
La
Call Makhalah.
Call
Wakal Madawa.
Call
Hakah.
Hakah.
Latahar.
Latahar.
Hamatazarayim.
Hamatazarayim.
Hakah.
Hakah.
Lahakwim.
Hamathium.
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 Hakah.
Hakah.
Al-Rakawa.
Al-Rakawa.
Hatama'al.
Hatama'al.
Lagarshan.
Lagarshan.
Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Tawad Aman.
Tawad Aman.
In English. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal all manner of sickness.
The power to heal all manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
All manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean
Cast
spirits.
them out.
Cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it.
All phones on mute. All phones on mute, please. We good? The what? Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah.
Asha'ah.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Al-Haharium.
Al-Haharium.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Yaba'ah.
Yaba'ah.
Azari.
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 Ma'ain.
Ma'ain.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Shamayam.
Shamayam.
Wa'aratazah.
Wa'aratazah.
Al-Yathan.
Al-Yathan.
Lamawak.
Lamawak.
Regalka.
Regalka.
Al-Yanawam.
Al-Yanawam.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Hana.
Hana.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Yayashan.
Yayashan.
Shawamar.
Shawamar.
Yashal.
Yashal.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tazolka.
Tazarka.
Al-Yad.
Al-Yad.
Yamyanka.
Yamyanka.
Yawamam.
Yawamam.
Yashamash.
Yashamash.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yakaka.
Yakaka.
Wairak.
Wairak.
Balayala.
Layala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamarka.
Yashamarka.
Makol Rai.
Yarai.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Athnapaska.
Ashapaska.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Taza'afka.
Taza'afka.
Wabawa'aka.
Wabawa'aka.
Maitha.
Maitha.
Wa'ai.
Wa'ai.
Awalam.
Awalam.
In English. I will lift up mine eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from the Lord.
My help cometh from the Lord.
Which made heaven and earth.
Which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
Behold.
Behold.
He that keepeth Yasha'ala.
He that keepeth Yasha'ala.
Shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right
The
hand.
sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
Nor the moon by night.
Nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out.
And thy coming in.
And thy coming in.
This time forth.
This time forth.
And even forevermore.
And even forevermore.
Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Adam Yalaka.
Adam Yalaka.
Al Tacharash.
Al Tacharash.
Al Tashakwa.
Al Tashakwa.
Al.
Al.
Kayahana.
Kayana.
Awabika.
Awabika.
Yahama Yawan.
Yahama Yawan.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al Amaka.
Al Amaka.
Ya'ariyamu.
Ya'ariyamu.
Sawada.
Sawada.
Wayatha.
Wayatha.
Ya'aitazawa.
Ya'aitazawa.
Altazapawanyaka,
Altazawanyaka,
Amarwa,
Amara,
Lakawa,
Lakawa,
Manakakyadam,
Radakadam,
Magawya,
Yagaya,
Wala Ayazakar,
Dua Ayashkar,
Shamya Sha'al,
Shashal,
Awada,
Awda,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Nowa,
Nowa,
Aitazawa,
Atazawa,
Laba,
Laba,
Yakarwa,
Yakaru,
Aliyaka, Slaki, Aliyaka,
Ayaka,
Barya,
Barya,
Yakarathwa,
Yarashwa,
Ahalia,
Ahali,
Adawam,
Adawam,
Warya Shemai Alayam,
Washashmar Ayam,
Mawa'aba,
Mawa'ab,
Wahagarium,
Wahagari,
Kabal,
Gabal,
Wa'amawan,
Wa'ama,
Wa'amalak,
Wa'ala,
Palashat,
Parasha,
Amyashabi,
Yabashabi,
Tazawar,
Tazawa,
Gam Ashawar,
Gash Ashwa,
Nalawa,
Lalawa,
Amon,
Amon,
Hayawa,
Kaiwa,
Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Zarwai,
Zarwai,
Labanya,
Labanya,
Lawat,
Lawat,
Salah,
Salah,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Laham,
Laham,
Kamadian,
Kamadi,
Kasiyah,
Kasiyah,
Sara'ah,
Sara'ah,
Kayabian,
Kayabian,
Manakal,
Manakal,
Oyashwan,
Yashua,
Nashamadu,
Yashmadu,
Ba'ayan,
Ba'ayan,
Da'ar,
Ra'awa,
Hayawa,
Aywa,
Daman,
Daman,
Ladam,
Ladam,
Shatamu,
Shaitamu,
Nada,
Nada,
Ya,
Ya,
Mawa,
Mawa,
Ka'irab,
Ka'ara,
Wakaza'aba,
Wakaza'ab,
Wakazaba,
Wakazaba,
Wakatazol,
Wakatazal,
Manat,
Manat,
Kol,
Kol,
Nasai Kamu,
Nasai Kamu,
Ashar,
Ashar,
Amarwa,
Amara,
Nayurasha,
Nairusha,
Nanawa,
Naiwa,
Na'awa,
Nawa,
Alahayim,
Alahayim,
Alahayat,
Alahayat,
Shayathamwa,
Shaitamu,
Kagagala,
Gagala,
Kakwash,
Kakwash,
Lapanya,
Lapanya,
Rawaka,
Waraka,
Ka'ash,
Ka'ash,
Thaba'ira,
Ta'aira,
Ya'ira,
Ya'ira,
Wakalahaba,
Waka'aw,
Thalahat,
Talaha,
Harayam,
Hariyam,
Khan Tharadapma,
Kantaradama,
Basairika,
Basairika,
Wabasa,
Wabasa,
Wapathka,
Wapatha,
Shabalaham,
Taha,
Mala'ah,
Mala'a,
Hanyaham,
Hanya,
Kualawan,
Kwaliwan,
Waya,
Waya,
Bakwashwa,
Bakwashwa,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yabashwa,
Shabashwa,
Waya,
Waya,
Bahalwa,
Bahalwa,
Adi Ai,
Ayai,
Waya,
Waya,
Kaparwa,
Kaparwa,
Waya,
Waya,
Abadwa,
Abadwa,
Waya,
Waya,
Da'irwa,
Da'irwa,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Atha,
Atha,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Labadka,
Labadka,
Al-Yawan,
Aywan,
Ko,
Ko,
Haratazah,
Haratazah,
in English. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O Yahweh.
And be not still, O Yahweh.
For lo,
For lo,
thine enemies make a tumult.
thy enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They that take counsel against thy people.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
Come,
and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Let us cut them off from being a nation.
That the name of Yasharallah may be no more in remembrance.
The name of Yahshua may be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
They have consulted together with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against
The
thee.
tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom.
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites.
Of Moab.
Of Moab.
And the Hagarenes.
And the Hagarenes.
Gabal.
Gabal.
And Ammon.
And Ammon.
And Amalek.
And Amalek.
The Philistines.
The Philistines.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur is also joined with them.
Assur is also joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites.
As to Sisera.
As to Sisera.
As to Jabin.
As to the Ben.
At the brook of Kishon.
At the brook of Kishon.
Which perished at Endor.
That perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like Oreb.
Make their nobles like Oreb.
And like Zed.
And like Zed.
Yea.
Yea.
All their princes as Zabah.
As the princes as Zabah.
And as Zalmunna.
As Zalmunna.
Who said.
Let
us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession.
Let's take to ourselves the houses of God in the person.
Oh my power.
Oh my power.
Make them like a wheel.
Make them like a wheel.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the fire burneth the wood.
As the fire burneth the wood.
And as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
As the flame sets the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest.
So
shall pursue them with thy temper.
And make them afraid with thy storm.
And make them afraid with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill thy faces with shame.
That they may seek thy name.
And they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Let them be confounded and troubled forever.
Let them be confounded and troubled forever.
Yea, let them be put to shame and perish.
Let them be put to shame and perish.
That men may know that thou,
That men may know that thou,
whose name alone is Yahweh,
whose name alone is Yahweh,
art the most high,
art the most high,
over all the earth.
over all the earth.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and earth,
And all things living.
and all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
The name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
That speak against us.
That speak against us.
Thy prophets.
Thy prophets.
The teachers.
The teachers.
The princes.
The princes.
The priests.
The priests.
The Israelite brothers.
The Israelite brothers.
And the school.
And the school.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and
To
destruction.
the heathen.
To the heathen.
And shake loose.
And shake loose.
The treasure of the rich of Israel.
The treasure of the rich of Israel.
That refuse to give to the school.
That refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches.
Force their riches.
To enter into thy sanctuary.
To enter thy sanctuary.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and
To
destruction.
the Edomites.
To the Edomites.
And the nations.
And the nation.
And the drug dealers.
And the drug
The
dealers.
court system.
And the court system.
The prison system.
The prison system.
Planned Parenthood.
Parenthood.
All the governments of our enemies.
All the governments of our enemies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church.
The Pope.
The Pope.
Islam.
Christianity.
Egyptology.
Egyptology.
Militia. Ku Klux Klan.
Ku Klux Klan.
Aryan Nation.
Skinheads.
Posse Comitazi.
The
Gay movement. The lesbian movement. Spies. Workers of witchcraft. NASA space program. Army. Navy. Air Force. Marines. Wall Street. Open up the internet. And the airwaves. Cable access channels. And the radio channels. Convict the spirit. Of any of thy people. That seek to stop us. And bring swift destruction. To all the heathen. That stand in the way. Try to stop us. Broadcasting your words. Throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues. Cause them to go to and fro. Through the earth and consume them. Let the plague shake the house of the thief. And the murderer. Like Yahweh shot. Michael and Gabriel. Down with the flying saucers. Punish all the heathens. That come up against us. As we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all. It is the angels that have done. Cause it to be spread through the media. Throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake it that coming. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you always.
So be it.
So out to the front. Shall be seated. Shalom Israel, y'all Bashim Yahshua Baruch to the brothers, y'all Shamar Al-Atan Bashim Yahshua to the sisters. The Isupk the Israelite School, Universal Practical Knowledge, established in 1969, 1 West on the 25th Street Hall in New York. We are led by Commander Jimmy Yohana. We are not affiliated with any other organization. Coming to you live, Isupk Milwaukee Sabbath service. We're going to start off in the Torah, reading in the ancient Hebrew, the Paleo Hebrew, not the Yiddish that we see currently. We're starting in Genesis. Apparently, it was brought to my attention that our video from Sabbath service from last week had gotten cut off. So we're going to go over the scriptures that we had covered from last week. So we're starting in Genesis chapter 7, starting at verse 15, and then we're going to break it down into English and move on to the next brother. Whenever you're ready.
Wayaba. 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 Wayabum. Wayab. Wayaba. Wayaba. Ma. Wayaba. Hour. Wayaba hour. All ka. All the ka. All your knock.
All pause.
All knock. All Hutta Huttaba.
Yep.
Huttaba. All Huttaba. Shanaya. Shanayam.
Those are two separate words. So
Shanayam.
Sun.
Shanayam. Shanayam. Shanayam.
Yeah.
It's two both.
They're going to be. It is the exact same thing. The pronunciation is just going to be slightly different. If I'm not mistaken. Let me put something up real quick. Because in the English, I believe that's going to be that part where it says 2 and 2. So it's just, yeah, the same thing. But, so you can bear with me 1 second. I just want to double check something. Yeah. So, Shanyum.
McCall. Habashar. Ashar. Bawa. Ranach.
It's a walk or walk.
Walk. Am I pronouncing it?
You are. Actually, I think this would be pronounced Rawaka. It should be spirit.
Kayayam.
Say that again.
Kayayam.
Sounds like you're putting an L
Kayayam.
in there.
Kayayam. Verse 16. Wahabam. Yum. Wahayum. Wahayum.
Just give it a character sounds.
Wahabanyam.
Very close. So the ba is going to be connected to the wahab. So it's going to be wahab ayam.
Wahab bayam. Zakayar.
Zakar.
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 got a captain's car out there in headquarters out there in New York.
It's a car.
Excellent captain over the prison program.
What does Sakar mean?
We can look it up. That was in verse 16. So basically translates into man. Now the way that they would have applied to him in that context could be a little bit different, but it's a masculine term. Mankind, man.
Wanakwa Baha.
The H is going to be kind of silent.
Wanakwaba. Bah. Wanakwaba.
Yep, just like that.
Wanakwaba. McCall. 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 Bashar. McCall Bashar. McCall Bashar. Bashar. Bashara. Bashara or Bashar.
Oh, Bashar,
Yeah. Yeah. Bahawath. Ba'awath. 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 Ba'ashar. Tazawath. Alaha, yeah, Alaha, yum, Alahayim, Alahayim.
Yep.
What? Will your eye? Will your eye? Gar, gar. Will a high gara? Will a high gara? Will a high gara?
There's no how.
Will a ma? Will a sa?
There we go.
Will a sar?
Yeah, it sounds like you're pronouncing an L. You're saying what lot? It's what yellow.
Will ya? Will ya sa? Will a sa gara?
You kind of had it right when you were pronouncing it with an H. So you were saying like Waya Hagar.
Will ya hagar?
So it'd be Waya Cigar. Waya Cigar.
Will ya cigar? Finger.
So you're 16. 16. You say cigar.
Okay. Yeah.
Before you say this, I wanna ask mainly you three. It's not good. It's not good. What is it?
Yahweh.
Snap?
Yeah, what is it? Whose name is it? Can you read that?
No.
Can you read that?
Yahweh.
You can read that?
Yes, it's Yahweh and Yahweh.
Yep. So in the Assyrian and the Paleo, this
Yahweh.
and this. Well, first off, these two. The
It's something that needs to be committed to memory, at the very least. If you can't read no Hebrew, you need to work on at least getting these two down. Yahweh and Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, I got those.
After that, you better be able to identify your nation. So that's the Assyrian and the Paleo for Israel. Yashal, Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, and Israel. At least those three need to start popping out in the scriptures for you. Good.
And they Yahweh and Yahweh Shah have to be the most known book in this known word in this book.
Correct, and even in the old, especially in the Old Testament too, because you're gonna see Joshua pop up all over the place, and that's the same. It's a different pronunciation in English, but it's the same spelling. In the Hebrew, in the Assyrian and the Paleo Hebrew, it's still gonna be spelled the exact same way. Just in the Old Testament, from the Hebrew to English equivalent at that time, it was gonna be Joshua. From the Assyrian to the English, and through the Greek, through the Assyrian text, but through a Greek dialect into the English, it was Jesus or Isus, some shit like that. But you're gonna see it's spelled the same way, whether it's Joshua, whether it's Jesus, it's Yahweh Shai, the pronunciation. You're not gonna see Jesus as such in the Old Testament. Again, it's gonna be talking about Joshua. That's a different topic, but we got to start committing at least those three to memory, so that when you see them in the scriptures, when you're up here reading, you're not sitting there stumbling and stuttering over it. You know, just get the pictographic understanding of it. Continue.
Shabbat. I meant to say, I don't know.
Okay. Go on. Good.
Slaki. So in Greek, Yahweh Shai's name, it would be Isis.
If they were to pronounce it in Greek, it was Isus, something like that. And then translated from the Greek dialect into English, Jesus. And that's more so, I believe, during the time of I want to say maybe around the Renaissance, when they started like introducing the letter J into the English language. But yeah, in the Greek tongue, it would have been Isus, something like that.
So then I heard Joshua.
So Joshua would have been a pronunciation from the Paleo Hebrew, from the Old Testament. And again, this is still written in Assyrian, but the dialect back then would have been coming from it would have been like an Assyrian Aramaic dialect. Aramaic came later. It would have been from like an Assyrian dialect. So it's an Assyrian script that we're reading and writing with, and then from an Assyrian tongue instead of the Greek tongue. So from the Assyrian tongue into English, it would have been pronounced Joshua. Just like in Spanish, you got Jesus and you got Jesus. So if we were to go from that dialect into modern English into the Hebrew, it's still gonna end up coming back to Yahweh Shai. But from the Assyrian to the English at that time, from again their dialect into English, that transliteration, it was Joshua.
And then we go from the English because of the spelling. We go from that understanding into Yahushua.
Okay, so in Hebrew his name is Yahushua, right?
Yeah.
In Assyrian is what?
In Assyrian, it would have been pronounced more like Joshua.
Joshua.
Yeah.
And then in Aramaic, because that's what Yahushua was speaking in America at the time, right?
So he spoke like 4 languages, I think. He spoke like Aramaic, Greek, Hebrew, and then I think there may have been another one, but at least those top 3.
So how would you say Yahushua in Aramaic?
I think that's when it comes into like the Aramaic. Yeah, the Aramaic I would be able to answer right now.
I think in Jesus spoke also Latin, right? Because at the time he was
Yeah, because you had the Roman Empire, and I think they were predominant in Latin at that time in that era. So yeah, so that would make sense. Yeah, with those cultures in there and the way he grew up, yeah. He probably spoke Spanish too. Shit, I don't know. All right, good.
Yahweh. But idol. Bun Idaho.
Say that again.
Bun Idaho.
No, N.
But Idaho.
There we go. Clap it up for the brother. Again, we got Lashawan Kadash class every Friday in Milwaukee. We're starting off at the beginning just because we're still like Cap was saying yesterday, we're a younger school. We got a lot of brothers that are unfamiliar with it. A lot of sisters too. This is for brothers and sisters. We got Lashawan Kadash every Friday, starting at 6 p.m. here in Milwaukee. You can also get in touch with all over the zones from Cali, Texas, Minnesota headquarters. Another brother, Yahusap Yalik. He does an excellent like English, Spanish, and Hebrew class. I believe Cap Mosh does one also. So I mean, you got a lot of different resources out there, depending on your time zone or availability. So I'm just gonna pick up the last 5 here. So at verse 17. Wayahaya Amabawa Arbayam Yawam Harataza Wayarabawa Hamayam Wayashawa Hathaba Watharam Ma'ab Harataza. Verse 18. Wayagaburawa Hamayam Wayarabawa Ahmad Ar Harataza Wathalak Hathaba Ar Panya Hamayam. Verse 19. Muhammayam Gabarwa Ma'a Ar Harataza Waikasawa Wabako, Haharayam, Hagabay Saki, Hagab Ashar, Thakat, Ko, Hashamayam, verse 20, Hamash, it's like Kamash, Aishara, Ama, Malamayla, Gabarwa, Hamayam, Bayakasawa, Aharayam, verse 21. Yaguai, Ko, Bashar, Haramash, Ab, Haratazah, Bayawa, Wababa Hama, Wabachaya, Wabako, Hasharatazah, Hasharatazah, Ab, Haratazah, Wako, Hadam, verse 22. Ko, Ashar, Nashama, it's like, yeah, Nashama, Rauka, Kayayam, Bab Yawa, Makal, Ashar, Bakaraba, Mathwa. That's the first 7, and we're going to transition back into the English. So, Genesis chapter 7, verses 15 through 22 in English.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 7, verse 15. And they went in unto Noah into the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. Verse 16. And they went in male and female of all flesh, as God had commanded him. And the Lord shut him in. Verse 17. And the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the waters increased, and bare up the ark, and
rise up the ark. Bear up the ark. It's rising.
No, all right. So yeah, you can't read the English translation from that. Yeah. No, you good. From this? Yeah. No, from that. You can't read that English translation side of it tonight.
and bear up the ark, and it was lift up above the earth. Verse 18, and the waters prevailed and were increased greatly upon the earth. And the ark went upon the face of the waters.
So now again, we're going over the account of Noah, gathering all the animals in, great flood happening. This is just kind of a recap. Over the past, the beginning of 15 and then in 14, or it's like in 7 and 6, and we were going over the building of it, the prophecies, the cause of it. And again, Captain was reiterating this the other day. Every major culture has a flood story. They've all got a vessel, They've all got animals being saved and mankind being saved as a result.
That's right.
And they've got a major flood event. The Asians got it. Good.
It's like even like Isupk, you know, like the Aztec calendar,
Right.
where they have the man with his tongue out,
Right.
to the, I think to the right, top right, it talks about the Great Flood.
There you go. And then that's a dominant ancient culture. The Sumerians, I think even the Aboriginals, the East Indians, the Elamites, they all got one. Everybody's got one. All the major cultures that everybody else stemmed from, because we got 18 nations on the face today, on the face of the earth today. There was a lot fewer, obviously, back then. So the original ones that stemmed from Noah's family line, Ham, Shem, and Japheth, they all carried on that same story because it was a major global event as far as what happened in that area. Because again, when it's talking about that flood in the earth, it was only affecting the population of man, and that's where they were living, in that Middle Eastern region. So it didn't happen on the Western Hemisphere. It didn't happen in America. Puerto Rico wasn't flooded. Canada wasn't flooded. Alaska didn't go under. It was that region. Like, you had a question?
Yeah. No, not a question. It's just an input. But also, you know, like the Aztec and the Mayans, you know, they have similarities in the calendar, right?
Right.
But I'm talking about the calendar. I'm talking about the book, the one called the Popol Vuh, which is the Mayans book.
What's it called?
The Popol Vuh.
You got that?
Yeah, I got it.
You got that? All right.
And
That's what's up.
in that is told the story of the world, and also is counting the story of the Great Flood.
Good.
Kanye, the Popol Vuh talks about the Book of Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
The Book of Genesis is in the Popol Vuh.
It's in there.
Yeah, there's even a temple where it's written on stone in the pyramids. In the very bottom of the pyramid, it talks about Genesis.
So it's not just the book that included it at the actual temple. It had it carved into the temple.
Yeah.
What a dialect, like in that Aztec.
Yeah.
Okay, it's interesting. And you got that book here?
Yes, I have it.
Okay, I definitely got to check that out.
Yeah,
Wow.
Do you got it here or at
You
the
just
house?
said,
You got it here?
at the house.
Yes, at the house. We need that book.
Yeah, I give all my books to I list my books to the bar of mine.
Okay.
all right, and then yeah, I mean that's pretty much just. Again, people are going to argue about what society came first, who had things written down first. We're not concerned with who had anything written down first. Who wrote the first math problem? Who charted the first stars? Like, who's documented as doing that? We've got a history of our forefathers introducing that to other nations, to other civilizations. Whether they had understanding of certain things or not, that's not, like, we don't care about that. That's kind of an afterthought, because you do got nations that are older than the nation of Israel. Everybody wants to talk about how Egypt came before Israel. Well, yeah, we were the last nation that was produced. Egyptians come from the line of Ham. Ham had his sons before Shem had. Well, Shem and Ham, they probably could have had sons around the same time, but Ham's sons that progenited Africa, the so-called African races, they were already alive before Israel was born.
Right.
So, of course, they're going to have an older civilization, older records, older artifacts. That's fine. That ain't got nothing to do with the truth, okay?
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, everyone, that would be what the Book of Genesis, when they Adam and Eve walked into a city.
When we were kicked out of the garden?
Yeah, I think so. When they walked into a city, because most Christians think that the very beginning of civilization was Adam and Eve, but Adam and Eve walked already into a city that's already established.
Cain walked into a city that was established. Yeah, we were kicked out of the garden. We were secluded more. Yeah, but Cain had walked into a city that was already established. What?
And Shalaki, Mom, I don't want it was we won the first soldiers that was made. I mean, the first nation that was born. It was other nations, but we God chose us. So I just want to let you know that.
I can keep going.
Verse 19. And the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth, and all the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered. Verse 20. 15 cubits upward did the waters prevail, and the mountains were covered. Verse 21. And all flesh died that moved upon the earth, both of fowl and of cattle and of beasts and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, and every man. Verse 22. In Salakia, all in whose nostrils was the breath of life of all that was in the dry land died.
And that's just what it was. The Most High wanted to reset things because how we had corrupted it. Again, mankind. So now people are going to ask, well, why do you have to kill the animals? Well, we did save the species of animals that the Lord had directed us to. We couldn't take all the animals on the ark with us because that's just crazy. It's crazy enough as it is to have as many as we had on there by a lot of people's account. It'd be even crazier to have every goddamn animal, every caterpillar, every worm, every bird. But that's a little bit too much. We had enough. We had enough survive to repopulate, to start it over again. And that's fine. I know Peter's probably pissed off at God for this, and animal lovers all across the earth are, throwing tantrums over the Most High, killing all the bunny rabbits. They're gonna be okay. There's a lot more of them. They procreate pretty damn fast. They're gonna be fine. There's gonna be, trust me, there's gonna be another anthill. There's gonna be another scorpion. There's gonna be more owls and lions and tigers and everything else that'll eat you. Crocodiles. They ain't crying over crocodiles until they see some leather. If that crocodile's chewing on their ass, they're gonna want somebody to shoot it in the head. It's, I don't know. I unless they're that hardcore and just like, take me, go for it. I don't know. But I'd be fighting back. But that's just they bleeding hearts. It ain't got nothing to do with the truth either. With that, Amalgam, just to the men up here. Alright, next priest, present our registry.
Ayom Ban Yashikar
Slaki. Amalgam Shabbat. Add Amalgam Shabbat.
Fuck.
So you add Amalgam? There we go. Now add Amalgam Shabbat, present your registry. Yeah.
Like it?
No.
Oh, Ayar Ban Yashikar
Ban Yashal.
Ban Yashala.
Ayar Ban Yashikar Ban Yashal.
Now you exit. And that's
Now get back like this. Or do I just move from that position?
Oh yeah, we should have saluted. My fault. Let's salute real quick.
Shalom Yahabashim Shabrakta.
Shalom and Yabasham Shabbat. Yabashim Shabrakta.
Yahabashim Shabrakta. Yala La Yashala.
Alright, Shabin, be seated. Alright, so now we're gonna get the next 7 verses. So it's gonna end chapter 7, and then we're gonna get into chapter 8. So you're gonna be at
Yeah, tonight that one.
so you'll be at Genesis chapter 7, starting at verse 23.
So like you said, Genesis
20 chapter 7, verse 23.
Yes, sir.
So,
It's 22, 23. That's what? What? Yeah. What? Yeah. Ma. That's ka, right?
correct.
So wa, ya. Good. Wa, ya. Ma. Wa, ya. Ma. Ka.
And now just smooth it out.
Wa, ya, ma, ka.
Close. Wayamak.
Wa, ya, ma.
Yeah, the vowel sound is going to drop off. Normally, at the end of the word, the vowel sound drops off, and you just get the consonantal value of it. So, whereas that would be wayamaka, all those characters, pronunciation wayamak.
And then it's ata,
Yep. In this case, it would be ath.
ath. And it's ba. It's ka.
Correct.
Ka. And it's la.
So now together, that's going to be pronounced call.
Call. Ha. Ya. Ha, ya, kwa. Rata.
La. The first half you got hayakwa. Yes.
Ha, ya, kwa. Ha, ya, kwa, wa.
Mhm.
Ta.
La. The end you got 4 out of 5. Hayakwa wa.
Ha, ya, kwa, ma.
That is correct. You end up skipping a character. So you got the ha, ya, kwa,
Ra, ma.
wa.
Wa, ma.
Now connecting the whole thing, ha, ya, kwa, wan.
Ha, ya, kwa, wan. Sha. Ra. Ashara.
Close. Ashar.
Ashar. Taza.
The other one that looks like it.
I. La. Isla. idle. And that's pa. Panaya. Panaya.
Panya.
Panya. That's ha. Da. Right? Da. Ahada. Ta. Ha. Achatad. Ha. Ta.
Not a tub.
Oh, it's ma.
Yep.
Ma. Ahmara. Ahmara.
Start it over.
I'm right here, right? On it right here. Ra. No, wa. Ra. Ahara.
It's not a rock.
Wa. Wa. Ra. After the was it ba? Oh, da.
Negative. So you got ha, da.
Ha, da. Ma, ha.
So those are all the characters. So the pronunciation will be ha, adam.
Ha, adam. Ma, da. Na. Achadama, Achadana.
Close to that second time we almost had it. It's almost the same as the word that we just got done with. So ma, da, ma.
Mahadama.
Oh, those are the characters. Pronunciation, ma, dam.
Mahadam. That's
The other one.
Iowa. No. Ira. Iowa. Aina. Aiza.
La.
Nice. Iowa.
La.
Which one is it? I just named it all of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say like you just guessing. Aid.
Aid.
Yeah, it's aid and da. Aid.
Aid. And that's ga, ha. Ga, ha. Guy, ga, ha.
It's not a ga.
Ba. Ba. Ma. Ba ha na ha. Wa.
Baha. And then
Ba ha na. Bahama.
say that again.
Bahama.
There you go. Clap it up for brother. Clap it up. It good stuff. We got a lot of characters that look alike, and then in the Assyrian too, like you might have one whole character that almost looks like two separate ones. It can get a little confusing, and again, that's why we got these classes. The last one Kodash class that I had, that's the main thing that we were focusing on, the ones that look alike, and how to differentiate them. So I think next week, since yesterday was feast day, Holy Convocation, and we had to skip that class. Next week we'll probably run that back again. So just for time's sake, I'll finish off the rest of these. So Bakma, Eid, Ramash, Wa'ad, Awa, Hashamayam, Wayamakwa, Man, Haratazak. It's like in Mana, Haratazak. Wayasha'ar, Ada, Nak, Washar, Athwa, Bathaba. It's 24. Wayagabawa, Hamayam, Al, Haratazak, Kamashiyam, Kamashim, Wamatha, Yawan. Chapter 8, verse 1. Wayazakar, Alahayam, Af, Nak, Wa'af, Ko, Hakaya, Wa'af, Ko, Abahama, Ashar, Athwa, Bathaba, Wayaiba, Alahayam, Rauka, Al, Haratazak, Wayashakwa, Hamayam. Verse 2. Wayasakarwa, Wayasakwa, Mayana, Thahawam, Warabath, Hashamayam, Wayakala, Hagisham, Mana, Hashamayam. Verse 3. Wayashabwa, Hamayam, Ma'ab, Haratazak, Halwak, Washawa, Wayakasarawa, Hamayam. Makwataza. Hamashiyam. Wama'at. Yawam. Verse 4. Wathanak. Hathabah. Bakadash. Hashabiyah. Hashabaya. Hashabaiha. Aishar. Yawam. Lakadash. Ab. Hariyah. Arat. Ararat. Verse 5. Wahamayam. Hayawah. Halawak. Wakasawar. I. Hakadash. Haishayaria. Haisha. Haisharia. Ba'aisharia. Bakad. Lakadash. Narawa. Ra'ashiyah. Hahariyam. So that's those 7 in the Hebrew. We're going to transition back into the English. So chapter 8, starting at verse 1 through 5.
Chapter 8.
Yep. Verses 1 through 5.
And God remembered Noah and every living thing.
Listen, he remembered the bunnies. He remembered mankind. He remembered the rabbits and the squirrels and the chipmunks and the eagles and grasshoppers and all that. Keep going.
And all the cattle that was with him in the ark. And God made a wind to pass over the earth, and waters as wag. The mountains also of the deep,
The fountains.
the fountains also of the deep, and the winds, and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained.
So I mean, he dumped out enough water, poured out enough water from the heavens and from the springs below to get the job done, and then he plugged it up. Keep going. Oh, actually, my fault. So like, we gotta start from 7 and 23. My fault.
Chapter 7, verse 23. And every living substance was destroyed, which was upon the face of the ground.
So again, you got to look at the context of things. Sometimes it'll say world, sometimes it said earth. Now it's saying, everything that was upon the face of the ground. You got to look at the context of it. Keep going.
Both man and cattle, and the creeping things and the fowl of the heaven, and they were destroyed from the earth. And Noah only remained alive. And they that were within the ark,
With him.
with him in the ark. Verse 24. And the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days.
All right, now we can jump back into 8.
And God remembered Noah, every living thing, and all cattle that was with him in the ark. And God made a wind to pass over the earth, and waters as wet. The mountains also of deep, and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained. And the waters returned from off the earth continually. And after the end of the 150 days, the waters were abated. Yep. Verse 4. And the ark rested in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, upon the mountains of Ararat.
So now, if we were to look at that today, we're in the 7th month, the first day. So in a couple weeks from now, we'll be celebrating the anniversary of when the flood waters abated and Noah's Ark was rested upon the mountains of Ararat. Now, we don't celebrate nothing like that. I'm just saying, like, if you want to look at it from the timeline point of view, it's like it. Keep going.
Verse 5. And the waters decreased continually until the 10th month.
So it took about 3 months for everything to funnel out. Keep going.
In the 10th month, on the first day of the month, were the tops of the mountains seen.
It was just a lot of water. And they're just giving a detailed account of what happened. Now, clap it up for the brother. Just a minute up here. Amadi. Ex-priest, present our registry.
Tawaganas ban sa walawan ban. Oh. Tawaganas ban sa walawan ban Joshua.
Tabaganas, Ban Sabalawan, Ban Yashal.
Now come back here. No. Barak.
Oh. Barak.
Salute.
Huh?
Yahweh Shem.
Oh, Barak Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh.
Hold on. Say that again. Say it loud, like you greeting your brothers.
Okay. Shalom Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Barakatah.
Shalom Yabashim Shabbat.
You exit that side. That's it. No.
No. Shalom Yabashim Shabbat.
Shalom Yahweh B'Hashem Barakatah.
Like you said, Barak.
Barak.
Shalom Yabashim Shabbat.
Shalom Yahweh B'Hashem Barakatah.
Salute the brother.
Shalom Yabashim Shabbat.
Shalom Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Barakatah.
Front. Face the face the front. Put it in your right hand. In your right hand. You're gonna raise the glass. Say La Yasha'Allah.
La Yasharala.
Just take a sip. You ain't got to finish the whole thing. That's bad. Alright. Shabian, be seated. That's it. Alright, so we are gonna switch back to the Hebrew. We are in verse. It's like we're in chapter 8. We are at verse 6. On the side, verse 6. I don't know what you're saying, because you got a vision. You got your reading glasses.
Even though I lost my prescription was
Those are prescription that you're in now.
no.
I no sweat. You got another
This
prescription. You got another prescription coming in. How do you get another pair? What are you doing about that?
Right now, nothing.
Genesis chapter 8, verse 6 in the Hebrew. Wayahaya, Makwataza, Arabayam, Yawam, Wayapathak, Nak, Atha, it's like Ya'ath, Kalawan, Hathaba, Bashar, Aisha, verse 7. Wayashalak, Ath, Hirab, Wayataza'a, Wayat, it's like it, Yatazawa, Yatazawa'a, Washawa, I, Yabashat, Yabashat, Hamayam, Ma'ayah, Haratza, verse 8. Wayashalak, Ah, Hayawana, Ma'athawa, Larawa, Kwalwa, Hamayam, Ma'al, Panya, Hadam, verse 9. Wala'a, Mataza'a, Mataza'a, Hayuwana, Manawak, it's like a Manawak, the Quack, Ragala, Watashab, Alayuwa, Oh, Hathaba, Kaya, Mayum, Al, Panya, Ko, Harataza, Wayashalak, Yadwa, Wayakuka, Wayaba'a, Atha, Ayuwa, Oh, Athaba, verse 10. Wayako, Aywa, Shabaith, Yamayam, Akar Yum, Isupk Malak, Ath, Hayuwana, Mana, Hathabah, verse 11, Wathabah, Aliyawa, Hayawana, Laith, Ira, Wahna, Ila, Zayath, Tarak, Bapaya, Wayadai, Nak, Kaya, Kwaliwa, Hamayum, Ma'ab, Haratazah, verse 12. Wayayakal, Ayawad, Shabaith, Yamayum, Akaryum, Wayashalak, Ath, Haywana, Wala'a, Yasak, it's like Yasapa, Shawa, Aliyuwa, Awa. It's the end of those 7. So now, can you read in the English?
It says,
8, starting at verse 6.
8 verse
Where you at?
Genesis chapter 8 verse 6. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made. 7. And he sent forth a raven which went forth to do to and fro until the waters were dried up from the earth. 8. Also he sent forth a dove from him to see if the waters were abated from off the face of the ground.
Now, this is where people get that picture of the dove with the olive branch, and they made that to such a holy image, God.
Soccer one was well, I know like back in the days they would either send a raven or a dove to send
Messages.
send messages. Is that what was going on in that scripture?
I mean, more or less. So, like, the way you would train homing pigeons or doves or ravens and things like that, so they were more than likely born on that ark. But also, as far as the circumference of the area that they were, there was no land to touch on. So that's the only other spot that they could have gone back to, where they would have just flown so damn long that they just either crashed out and died somewhere in the water, or if one of them did find land, they too beaten to come back, or they lost their way. But in a similar effect, yeah, you're sending out like a messenger pigeon or a carrier pigeon or something like that to relay their findings, more or less, yeah. Because then, like, if it's too far for them to fly, then hopefully they come back with some news or some evidence, more or less, yeah. But again, this is where they get that image of that dove. Now, not this particular one. I think he had to send out a few before he actually got word back. But it's where they get that image of that dove with the olive branch, and they turn it into some holy, magical symbol of hope and faith, and I don't know whatever else they wanted to put on it. But it's just a dove, dude. Just a dove with an olive branch. Not that big a deal. That sounds like dinner to me. It's dove with some seasoning. I don't know. Keep going.
9. But the dove found no rest for the sole of her foot, and she returned unto him into the ark.
All right, so yeah, so the dove didn't find nothing, so it just flew around as much as it could, and then just returned back. Keep going.
For the waters were on the face of the whole earth. Then he put forth his hand and took her and pulled her in unto him into the ark. 10. And he stayed yet other 7 days, and again he sent forth the dove out of the ark. 11. And the dove came in to him in the evening, and lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf plucked off.
So of course the dove came in shining, at night, shining like gold. There's a big halo around it, big old beam of white light shining on the dove. It's all magical and shit flapping around. No, it was just a dove with olive branch. Okay.
So Noah knew the waters were abated from off the earth.
Now earlier it said that the waters had decreased in the top of the mountains we're seeing. So that lets you know that it still wasn't habitable for humans or for the animals, let alone because the dove couldn't pluck nothing off the top of a rock. Ain't gonna bring a pebble back. Go ahead. Good.
12. And he stayed yet other 7 days, and sent forth the dove, which returned not again unto him any more.
There's probably some good solid dry land that the dove could get some rest, and it just took its leave. So that's the end of these 7 verses in the English. Clap it up for the brother. Alright. So this is going to close out the Sabbath service. And we will continue next weekend where we left off. Genesis chapter 8, picking up at 13. So with that, man of Israel, imagine. Imagine Shabbat. Imagine. Rock.
Yahweh Hashem Barakatam.
Got him top. Class dismissed. Bye. Stop clapping. And one corner should say finish.
That's what it calls dedicated.
And broadcast.